18, Jacob Bullock versus number 9, Nick Feldman. Here we go. Bullock went for a shot immediately off the whistle. Feldman back in on the re-attack. He's got the single leg shelved up.
Man, quick action for the big guys here.
Feldman trips Bullock down to the mat and gets the takedown out on the edge. Bullock with the split step as we go out of bounds.
And I love that. You don't see that at heavyweight too often, guys going out there shooting off the whistle. Both these guys very athletic heavyweights, so they both wrestle like little guys, but as you can see, they are big men.
Jacob Bullock on the season, 14-7, 5-5 in duels. He's 3-3. He's split the Big Ten dual meet matches he's had this year. 8 bonus point victories. Flip it over to Feldman, 12-6, 6-3 in duels, 9 bonus point victories. He's gotten 8 tech falls this year, 2-5 against the top 25. As Bullock gets out and gets the escape, we're back up to our feet. 3-1 the score, Feldman ahead of Bullock.
Feldman likes to threaten. He likes to threaten these high-level shots. You'll see him swipe at the leg, and then he uses that to set up his lower shots. Last week, though, versus Michigan, he gave up the match-winning takedown off of his own high crotch, got stuffed under there, and that's a position where JB is really good. I'm sure Feldman, after the Michigan match, he's been drilling in that position. We'll see how that comes into play.
Nick Feldman, 1-0 all-time against Indiana in his young career. He beat Nick Wilhelm 12-3 last season. Jacob Bullock, on the other hand, 1-1 against the Buckeyes in his career. Two kind of opposite ends of the spectrum here, Dan. Bullock, the grad student, Nick Feldman, the young up-and-coming redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, Feldman's been impressive so far in his career as a Buckeye, and Bullock has had a long, successful career as a Hoosier. Very big for this duel. We'll see who gets it done. Pace has kind of slowed down here a little bit after that firecracker opening. Both guys gaining pace. And a nice shot by Feldman. He's got to keep his head on that knee.
Feldman in on a low single. Bullock putting the heavy hips back into him. Feldman tries to sit through. And we get back up to our feet right at the Indiana logo at center mat. 1 minute to go, period 1 at heavyweight. 3-1 the score in favor of the Buckeye.
And there it was. We saw it right there. JB's hips crashed down hard. And Feldman did a great job of clearing out of there, sitting through, peeking out, and getting back up, not staying under those heavy hips of Bullock.
If you're just joining us, the man to my right just mentioned we started at 197. It was a firecracker, lightning strike of a match at 197. Gabe Sollers gets the ranked win over Seth Shoemate, 10-6. Play, wrestling is stopped. We will reset. Toes on the line, and here we go again.
30 seconds remaining, period 30.
I'd like to see Bullock get back to his offense here. He did get scored on off that opening attempt, but you got to stay with it, and a nice snap attempt.
Both guys heavy on the collar. Jacob Bullock second at the Midlands this season. Nick Feldman got 6th at the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invite. Two very, very tough tournaments, Dan. These two guys, very savvy wrestlers, very accomplished wrestlers in their own right. This first period comes to a close, and a little bit of extracurricular
a little chippy,
pushing
a little
and shoving.
chippy. I love it.
And for more on this matchup, we'll now toss it to the third member of our crew, Ari Betterly. Ari.
Thanks, Riley. Yes, these are the two heavyweights up today, Jacob Bullock and Nick Feldman. For the Hoosiers, Bullock has been consistent. The 285, he's a graduate student with his leadership and consistency that has made him a crucial piece to Indiana. When I spoke to head coach Angel Escobedo about Bullock, he said, Jacob has been a leader all year. He set the tone of what toughness and experience look like. And on the other end, the Ohio State Nick Feldman continues to develop into a serious Buckeye for the heavyweight pipeline. This redshirt sophomore is following the footsteps from some elite OSU heavyweights, and today's matchup is another big test. Head coach Tom Ryan spoke with Feldman's growth, saying, Nick's got all the tools. He's working to be one of the best and taking big steps, and it should be an exciting match. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Ari. Again, two very accomplished guys. Bullock, the old savvy vet. Feldman, the young, hungry up-and-comer. He leads 4-1 as we begin period 2. Feldman began this period with the escape.
That was a good point by Ari. The Buckeyes do have a tradition of having very successful heavyweights. We remember Kyle Snyder, I'm sure we all do. And Feldman's looking to keep that tradition going for the Buckeyes. Nice attempt. Wow, so athletic from Feldman to cartwheel out of that. But nice attempt by Bullock.
Holy cow, Dan. I know these two guys are heavyweights, but they can move. They're like two freight trains.
Yeah, you don't see many heavyweights wrestle like this. Bullock, I think Bullock has a 10-pound advantage on him if I looked at the weigh-in sheet right. It's interesting at heavyweight when you see, you know, that's a whole weight class at the lower weights, but at heavyweight, it's just another day at the office.
Bullock began his career at Old Dominion. The program got dropped after his freshman year, so he came back to the other school that recruited him, that being Indiana. And Angel Escobedo and the coaching staff embraced him with open arms. He's developed into one of the key pieces for this Hoosier squad.
Yeah, he's been a staple, cornerstone of this program. I know we mentioned last time about Old Dominion dropping their program. What a shame. Let's all try to save Cleveland State wrestling. Let's not let them drop that one.
Absolutely.
There's got to be a petition somewhere.
Yeah, and especially with the gaining national popularity of the sport of wrestling as a whole, women's college wrestling just got approved as the 91st championship sport. Dan, we talked about that in the Rutgers broadcast. Just wrestling in a really great spot. Bullock in on a shot in space. He runs out of time as Feldman gets his feet back. We head into the third period with a 3-point lead for the Buckeye. Big response for Ohio State after Indiana won 197, Dan.
Yeah, this will be a big one for the Buckeyes to get if Feldman can hold on to this 4-win lead. We saw a nice attempt by Bullock at the end of the period. We're going to have to see more of that in this period if Bullock wants to pull this one out. See how long Feldman can ride. It looked like an early start to me, but they let it go.
Bullock gets out and gets the escape. It's a 2-point match. Indiana leads 3-0 on the team score. Nick Feldman, a guy who last year came in and made some noise at heavyweight. He won the heavyweight matchup against Michigan at the Cavelli Center last year against Lucas Davison, 4-3. That pushed the Buckeyes over their hated rivals, the Michigan Wolverines. And he really hasn't looked back ever since, Dan. He's, as already mentioned, a very bright prospect for this Buckeye squad moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's showed why on the mat here today with his athleticism and quick attacks.
Feldman, the only one that's been able to score on a takedown. Both guys have been in on each other's legs.
Yeah, Feldman's been in better position when he gets in there. JB's done a good job of crashing his hips.
Collar ties, wrist ties, snap downs, head to head for both of these big guys at heavyweight.
He's got 50 seconds left. I'd like to see Bullock pick up his rate of attack here, put two together. You got to give yourself a chance if you're Bullock.
He's got 42 seconds to try and find a way to get a takedown. Stalling has not been a factor. Stalemated. We reset neutral at center mat.
But that collar, I want you to watch the left hand of Feldman. He's going to grab a collar right there, and that's what's making it hard for JB to get to his legs, that left-handed collar. Oh, and he punches underhook. He's starting to get some ideas here. He's got 25 seconds.
Fans here in Wilkinson Hall want a stall call on Feldman. They haven't gotten it yet. 20 seconds left here at heavyweight. Bullock's got to find a way. Feldman gets warned for stalling as Bullock goes for a double in space. Bullock with 13 to go. We're at center mats. Bullock trying to push the pace. Shoots in space once again.
5 seconds.
5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Nick Feldman hangs on at heavyweights and ties this dual meet back up at 3 apiece. He gets the 4-2 win over Bullock at heavyweight.
Great job closing that out by Feldman, keeping that collar, keeping Bullock off his legs, not giving Bullock a chance to get back into this one. And let's see, I think